Hello everyone, my name is Dark, and today I bring you my thoughts on why Resident Evil Requiem will be the best Resident Evil to date. Let's start off with some statistics on why the Resident Evil franchise is so well loved by many survivor horror gamers. At the time of this video, some of the games such as Resident Evil 7 Biohazard has sold over 15 million units, and Resident Evil Village has sold over 11 million units as of April 2025. Around the same time frame, at the launch of Resident Evil Outbreak, it sold about 66 million units. And over the course of all the games, they've won awards such as Best Lineup of Games, Ultimate Game of the Year for 2021, Best Performance by Maggie Robertson, as we all know, played Lady Dimitrescu in Resident Evil Village, and Best VR AR Game at the Game Awards in 2021, just to name a few. Here's the reason why I think Resident Evil Requiem, or as we all know it as Resident Evil 9, will be the best one yet. Is because it brings the game back to its horror roots and steers us back to where it all started, in that small Midwestern town of Raccoon City, of which was destroyed by a nuclear blast by the end of Resident Evil 3. The devs over at Capcom has stated that this game takes place about 30 years after that horrific event that was started by the gigantic pharmaceutical enterprise, the Umbrella Corporation, when their experiment got out and infected rats in the sewers of Raccoon City, which ended up inevitably crippling Raccoon City's very foundation, as was mentioned back in Resident Evil 4. The aftermath of that incident led to the pharmaceutical consortium issuing an indefinite suspension of business decree to Umbrella, which led to their downfall. The viruses that got out was the T virus and the G virus respectively of both RE2 and RE3, and they were released from the Nest Labs over the course of those two games. Now, I myself am no expert at Resident Evil. I do walkthroughs of Resident Evil. I love the series. I've played most of the games. I've not played Outbreak. I want to, but I don't have the means to play it yet. The reason why I'm so excited for Resident Evil Requiem, and this is just me, is because it combines a lot of features that I like. I like to see the games going back to what they were, which is survival horror. Yes, I love Resident Evil 4. I'll be the first to admit it. Resident Evil 4 was my favorite game, bar none. But I also enjoyed Resident Evil 0, 1, 2, and 3. I wasn't too big on RE5. I liked RE6 to a point. The reason why I didn't like RE5 was because they made Chris out to be a muscle-bound bonehead who didn't really use his head when he should have. But that's my opinion. But, and I'm just stating here a fact that this is what I think. We are going back to Raccoon City to find out what actually happened, not what we were told happened. Because, honestly, we don't know what inevitably led to the downfall of Umbrella, and also what led to the release of the T virus and the G virus. We know a roundabout what happened, but not the full story. This game actually commits to giving us the full story about what happened to Raccoon City. We're only given bits and pieces through the characters, through some of the characters that survived the incident that day: Leon, Claire, Jill, and Carlos. We don't know the exact happening that happened behind the scenes. We only know what we're told. Now, some of the problems that were seen in Resident Evil 7 and 8 have been addressed. The main problem of Resident Evil 7 and 8 was that it first launched with first person point of view. But that was later fixed in a later update of those games that allowed us to switch to choose between third person and first person. Me myself, when I play Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Village, I like first person. That's me. Never really got behind third person. It didn't work for me on Resident Evil 7 and 8. RE4, 2, and 3, perfectly fine. I loved it because I'm used to those I'm used to that behind the shoulder or over the shoulder camera view that come with the games. And I'm talking about the remakes, not the original ones. I played the original ones. They weren't my favorite. Kind of messed with the immersion. Also, I know it's a little weird, but myself, I didn't like the tank controls. Tank controls were wonky. They was not well implemented in my opinion, but back then that's all they had to work with. So I can't really say much about that. The reason why first person in Resident Evil 7 and 8 was a problem is because a lot of people, when they played it, it scared them half to death. And they chose not to play it because it was too horrifying. My wife can attest to that. She will not pick up RE8. She won't do it. This will also address the problems of the loose ends that were in Resident Evil Outbreak Files 1 and 2. Specifically of Alyssa Ashcroft's files. And it'll also help us tie up or tie back into Resident Evil, of the Resident Evil old that we grew to love, by bringing back some of the zombies. Now, Capcom has recently revealed in the most recent trailer for Resident Evil Requiem that the item selection that took inspiration from Resident Evil 7 and Village, as well as the map format that we've seen in trailer. I've watched the trailer myself. I didn't go over it because I feel that it's been done over and over too much. But the director of Resident Evil Village is done by the director of Resident Evil 7 and Resident Evil Revelations director Koshi Nakanishi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please forgive me. And apparently the game started out as an open world Resident Evil multiplayer game. But it was quickly scrapped because they felt that it wasn't what the fan base wanted, which I'm all for. I'm glad it got scrapped because honestly, I'd rather play a single player Resident Evil game than a multiplayer one, because multiplayer, I mean, yeah, I like the multiplayer ones, RE5 and RE6 to be specific. Also, I like the single player experiences because you can focus more on the game and actually get into it. And I will be pre-ordering this game. I will make that clear. I will be pre-ordering when the pre-order is announced. I will be pre-ordering it, and I will do a walkthrough on it. But in this game, we take the reins of Alyssa Ashcroft's daughter, Grace, as you see the picture behind me. That's Grace Ashcroft. We'll discover what remains of Raccoon City, what caused the destruction, and what happened to the Umbrella Corporation. And we'll uncover the truth about what happened to Alyssa. Now, this is some new information that come out, I think, like 3 days ago. I may be wrong. I don't quite know, though. But this is the first Resident Evil game from the RE engine that will not be playable on the PS4. Sorry, if you have PS4, you're not going to be able to play it. Get a PS5 or Xbox Series S and X. Xbox Series S or X. Because it's only available for the current gen systems. Some of the key moments of this game will likely include the escape from the sanatorium from the Big Mama Stalker we saw in the trailer, allowing Grace to create her own safe zones from the Stalker by using lights. We all seen in the trailer that the Stalker enemy cannot stay in a well-lit room. Her skin starts to boil and bubble off, and it will repel the Stalker monster. I can guesstimate or I can estimate who the Stalker enemy is. I'm thinking it's Alyssa myself. I just think it funny that she has the same white color hair as Grace. That, though, again, I may be reaching here, but I'm thinking it's Alyssa. I'm going with everybody else. I'm thinking it's Alyssa. I don't think it's Lisa Trevor. And this game will be Grace's own personal journey back to the Renwood Hotel where her mother was killed. And Grace may encounter, now I'm using this word loosely, may encounter other characters from previous installments of the Resident Evil games. Those who survived the Raccoon City incident: Leon, Claire, Jill, maybe Carlos. I don't know. We may even get Rebecca, which I know she's highly requested. I would love to see Rebecca return in the game. I would love it dearly. Also, we'll also get to see how Grace develops over the course of the game. Will she become more confident in herself, and will her combat skills improve? As I said, this game will focus around Grace's ability to deal with, excuse me, one minute, okay, to deal with her mother's passing away at the Renwood Hotel. We'll also be getting a feature that will let us swap between first and third persons. I like that because there's some parts of the game that I think would be better in first person and some that I think would be better in third person. Chase scenes, I would say, be better in third person. Exploring, finding things, maybe a few action things here and there would be better for first person. But I'm thinking mainly leave the chase scenes for third person, because you guys see Grace trip, stumble over her own 2 feet as she's trying to escape whatever is chasing her. It also gives a feeling of tension or hopelessness in some parts, and honestly, I saw the trailer. I think Capcom did a great with this one. I saw it. I didn't get to play the demo. I didn't go to PAX and I didn't go to Gamescom. But I'm hoping they release a actual playable demo to the public, which they should release it about a month or two ahead of launch. They may release it after PAX, which is this weekend. It may be, we may get a teaser demo like we did for RE7, and then get an actual demo later on down the road. I don't know, don't hold me to that, but that's what I'm hoping for. RE Requiem seems to blend action and survival horror that will leave people on the edge of their seats. I know I've been left on the edge of my seat. I've been wondering what the heck's going on in Raccoon City the entire time. Like, what happened? So, in conclusion, let's go back and reiterate some of the points that I think which will set Resident Evil Requiem up to be a one of the best, if not one of the best of the Resident Evil franchise. It looks the Raccoon City by heading back there as Grace Ashcroft. The game has the benefit of being able to switch on the fly to first or third person perspective. Resident Evil, well, this game will also bring with it some aspects of action, but mainly staged the survival horror of the Resident Evil games that we all know. And we finally get to see what caused the release and subsequent destruction of Raccoon City. And apparently there's a whole new viral strain that is infecting whoever is left in Raccoon City. And Grace will inevitably find out what happened to her mother at the Redwood Hotel. There's probably more factors in the game that have not been shown yet, like what the virus is, other mutations, as well as other key characters that may be coming forward. But what do y'all think the best moments of Resident Evil Requiem will be? Please let me know down in the comment section down below, and consider subscribing to the channel for more gaming content. Also, we'll be doing a walkthrough of Resident Evil 5 and 6 in October, so I hope you're looking forward to that. Go check us out over on Facebook, X, TikTok, and also Twitch. All links will be down in the description box down below. I want to thank you for joining me today. This is my first type of video like this. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Also, let me know down in the comment section below what you think will be in Resident Evil Requiem coming forward. I hope you have a great everybody, and I'll see you back in Raccoon City on February 27th next year. Take it easy, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.